We are ready to go for our Breeders' Cup special two-day affair. We are going to be recording two shows in one day. We'll be posting the shows on Wednesday and Thursday. So the first show we're going to be getting started with is going to provide a free show for our viewers. That's going to be the Breeders' Cup Sprint, which will be, of course, on Saturday. Then we have two races from Friday's card we're going to get to in just a little bit. And then we'll, of course, promote our next show, which will include three races on Saturday in a little bit. We also want to remind everybody, please, easy, subscribe. Too many viewers on this show for not enough subscribers. So subscribe. That's very important, not only for you guys, but for us. And as you should know by now, we have a new model. If you don't know and you're new to the show, because it's a big show, it's a Breeders' Cup special, you can use the thanks icon on the bottom of the screen. Click it. You get an opportunity to donate as much as you want, $5, $10, whatever you want at any time, any day. Let us know what you like about the show. And that is going to be real important for us moving forward to make sure that we could give you the best shows we possibly can with expert handicapping from people like John Hardoon, and to take professional trainers like Chad Summers out of his busy day. Look, he's got his press clippings all over him. You could tell he's bundled up live at Keeneland for the big day, or at least the big day is coming up. What are you doing, by the way, Chad? What's coming up today?
Today we just have more of a countdown. 72 hours out from Saturday, 48 hours out from Friday. So it's just kind of, routine day for everybody. Some horses going to the gate, just finishing up their final preparations. Have a lot of horses school in the paddock just to take it all in. There's a lot of temporary tents and objects in the way, and just try and get the horses as comfortable as possible.
And how about you, John? What are you doing? Are you resting now? Do you have all your picks ready for the weekend?
I have everything ready. I have 4 radio shows. I'm going to Vegas to do a seminar, and just finished at Zoom last night with the...
Much enthusiasm.
Yeah, I know. I was about to say that. Did you just wake up?
I'm out of gas. Okay.
All right, let's get the gas going. Let's light the fire. All right.
I've hit the wall.
Let's start with the sprint. All right. Again, this is going to be free to our viewers. Oh, I forgot to mention now as we go into these, this is one of the new aspects of our show. Each one of we tease this. Each one of us, we are going to wager funny money. So that's, we're not just throwing it around, but it's for fun. $100 a race. Each one of us gets $100 to use to race, to pick on all of these races that we're going to handicap. So we're going to make it fun. We're going to follow the results and go with it. So we'll start first of all with the sprint. And this is again on Saturday's card, obviously. Race 7, 6 furlongs. Post time should be about 2:30. Manny Wash, the one horse is too slow, right, John?
Yep.
Too slow, Chad?
Yeah, he won a winning in prep race here at Keeneland opening day in the fall meet in the Phoenix. This is a race that went really fast early and fell apart late. Completely different race this time. He has no chance.
Yeah, because that was a grade 2 race at Keeneland, but that was just a 12. I don't see any single digits for Manny Wah. All right, the 2 is Kamari, a 4-1 shot, and Kamari is going to be one of the horses I'm going to put in some win money at 4-1. Or Ortiz is on board for the first time. Rosario was on board quite a bit, including the last 2 wins when Kamari ran a 3 and a 5. Very impressive. 2 wins out of 3 at Keeneland, John. 5 out of 6 on a fast surface as well. Keep that in mind. So Kamari is definitely one of the top horses to beat.
Well, it's also a mare against boys. I mean, obviously Joel Rosario is going to ride Jackie's Warrior over Kamari, but Kamari does have a chance.
Well, she's an interesting filly for sure. I mean, she would be odds on running in the Filly Mare Turf, Filly Mare Sprint being 7 furlongs. Wesley thinks that she's better, the true 6 furlong kind of horse, and he's going to roll the dice. It's a $2 million race, and she's done everything the right way. Look, she's very, very. She has a lot of time off between a lot of her races. This is the first time she put 3 races back together since last May. Before that, she's never really put 3 races back together since 2019. She's in the form of her life and just kind of hoping for the best in this situation, but she looks tremendous. She doesn't look like a filly. She's a big, strong, stout filly. Should have no problem. She's not going to be intimidated against the boys, that's for sure. And neither will Jackie Irad Ortiz. season.
The 3 Obesos is a 20-1 shot. Now, you don't have the same sheet lines as Kamari, but still, for a horse that has run a couple of 8s this year, you're getting 20-1, coming off a win last time out. It wouldn't be the worst idea to throw him into trifectas, things of that nature, to try to make some money. What about Obesos, John?
The best he's ever run are 8s. 8's not going to do it for you. So maybe somewhere in the bottom of your tries or supers, but I think you have better options.
Look, this is a horse that was 5th in the Kentucky Derby a year ago. Now you see that was at 1.25 miles. Now he's cutting back to the 6 furlong distance. I don't mind him going 6 furlongs. I think eventually he might actually find the home on the grass if they ever try it on the grass. In this race, I think you're right, Greg. He's a fringe contender for trifecta, superfecta spots. I don't think the pace sets up the way where he can win. But he'll come running late. If there's anybody that can challenge Jackie's Warrior early, I'm not sure that there is. It would help him. I think he's going to be a little bit too far back with too much to do.
American Theorem, the 4 horse at 10-1. This is one of the horses I'm going to put into my exacta with Jackie's Warrior to try to make something. 7-5-7 last 3 races. The 5 was at the Grade 1 Bing Crosby. That was a win. What about American Theorem, John?
Well, he's certainly gotten good in his last 3 starts. And it's funny because they were sending this horse long and decided to sprint him in his last 3 races. And obviously he's a lot better sprinting than routing. He certainly has a shot at 10-1 to hit the board.
I think, Jonathan, your horse Champagne Poetry gave him a pep talk. They were stabled next to each other at Turfway Park. They both battled to see who can run worse. We got beat a ton. He got beat 12 3/4 lengths. But since then, he's done nothing wrong. He's got 2 wins in a second. And probably that Pat O'Brien was a little too far for him. I think he's better 3/4. He's a cool horse, big gray horse. Look, trainer George Papadramo is having a career year. But to me, again, winning in California in those races and who he beat, it's not Jackie's Warrior. To me, this is a completely different ball of wax. And I just don't think he's good enough.
See if you can move the camera back up a little bit, Chad. There you go. Or move yourself back. All right, the 5 is Aloha West, a 12-1 shot, the defending champ of the race. And just like American Theorem, John, this is a horse that I'll try to see if I could make a little bit of cash with Jackie's Warrior in an exacta. The best days were last year, no question about it. 4 straight 6s, including the Breeders' Cup Sprint win we just talked about. Coming off a win. It's interesting, though, the first 2 races this year, lost to Jackie's Warrior, lost to Flightline. Then the last race was able to win that race without any of those top horses, but it's still just 10-10-9 this year.
He was obviously a much better horse last year than he is this year. Not only that, I think he'll be a lot shorter than the 12-1 you see. Everybody knows he's the defending champ. The 12-1 is not a good morning line, and I don't like him because I don't like the 3 races he came out with this year, and then those 3 races resulted in another layoff. Where has he been? You know, he should have showed up somewhere, and he hasn't. So for me, that's somewhat of a negative sign.
No, he's been battling some minor injury. Look, to me, to win the Breeders' Cup, to win a World Series, an NBA Finals, however you want to look at it, you have to be doing your best. And I just don't think this horse is doing his best. He shows a couple fast works at Keeneland since they decided they're going to run in the Breeders' Cup. But again, probably too little, too late. I think he's up against it. Especially the pace dynamic of this race.
And this is going to be the horse that I'm also going to throw a little win money on if Jackie's Warrior loses. Elite Power at 6-1. I read Ortiz is on board for the first time, so that's an upgrade. 4 straight wins coming in, John. The sheet line was really perfect until, matter of fact, culminated with a 5 in September. But then the last race went to a 9. Not sure what happened there. So hopefully I could draw a line there and get back to that forward momentum before the 9.
Well, he was certainly doing fine numbers-wise going into the last race. The problem with this horse is that the last race was run without Lasix. And he's going to run without Lasix. No? Why are you shaking your head, Chad?
The problem with the last race is there was no speed in the race. He was in front going a half in 47-3. He'd like to be sitting 4th or 5th. It's a slow number because they went so slow early. You'll never see a sprint race ever again in life that's a Breeders' Cup winning race go a half mile in 47-3. The problem is Norm Cash had 17 horses in the race that aren't fast enough to go faster than 47-3. So Elite Power, who's not a front runner ever, found himself on the lead. I just think it's the dynamics of the race, more so than it's Lasix, more so than it's a distance or class or anything like that. Because that race, the Vosburg last time, it was worse than the allowance race he ran in the race before. This is a nice horse, and the number's not wrong because it was a slow time, but the number's wrong in the fact that he just did what he had to do. He didn't have a choice.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Next up, let's talk about the 7, and that is Super Ocho. Nothing much for Super Ocho. 3 races here in the States, an 8 and a 10 on dirt.
well, I can tell you, the trainer's a sharp guy. He wins with a lot of big price horses. He had a terrific Del Mar this year. But that being said, I think this horse is a little slow.
Look, cool horse. Really rooting for the connections. Amador Sanchez, a good trainer, but again, I agree with Jonathan. Probably just up against it.
All right, the 8, CZ Rocket, has seen much better days. Ran a few 4s early last year, but the best CZ Rocket could do this year was an 8 in July.
I don't like this horse here.
Look, he's trained by a guy in Peter Miller, who knows how to win Breeders' Cup races. He's won the Breeders' Cup Sprint twice before for Roy H. I know there's some guys at the sheets that are big fans of Peter Miller, so you can't completely toss this horse, even if he looks a little
All right,
too slow.
next up is the 9, Jackie's Warrior. Heavy favorite, 4-5, Rosario Asmussen. The only blemish is 0 for 1 at Keeneland. That's about it. 4-4-2 in the last 3 races, John.
Yeah, and he's going to have a big pace advantage, I think. He's going to make the lead, and he's just going to keep going. I mean, he's just faster than these. He's drawn in a perfect spot. He's got Rosario. I think he's going to be tough to beat here.
This is his race to lose. With Jack Christopher coming out of the race, it only benefits him even more. Look, I didn't like him going into the Forego last time. He didn't look as good as he normally looks. He was back a little quick after the Grade 1 earlier in the meet. But this was always their plan, was a 2 race at Saratoga and then freshen him up for this race. He's a true sprinter. He's a really, really fast horse. He's the only horse in the history of horse racing at Saratoga to win a Grade 1 at 2, 3, and 4 at Saratoga. That's never been done before. He's a brilliant horse, and I know people want to make money and they want to cash tickets and they want to try and beat favorites. This is a tough race to try and beat the favorite. This is completely Jack Warrior's race to lose. And people will say something about the Breeders' Cup. Look, when he ran in the Juvenile 2 years ago, he didn't want to go that far. And he got beat by Essential Quality and Hot Rod Charlie, horses that ended up having wonderful careers. And last year, he chipped a knee in the race. So, to me, I completely forgive that because he wasn't himself. He got hurt in the race. So, you wrote those off. This has been their plan. He's ticked off every box that Steve has put in front of him. The guy's going to have 10,000 career wins before the end of the year, and this is one that's going to bring him one closer.
The 10 is Willie Boy, a 30-1 shot. 7, that's the best we've seen out of Willie Boy. That was in May, John.
Yeah, well, George Delgado took over the training for this horse this year, and he's just gotten better. I mean, this horse is 30-1. He'll probably go off longer than that, and he has a shot somewhere on the bottom at a big price.
Not a bad long shot play.
He does have a shot on the bottom. It's whether or not he can beat the ambulance somehow.
And the 11 is Flash of Mischief, another 30-1 shot, coming off a 6 last time out, but that spells bounce, doesn't it, John?
Yeah, and that was at Remington where Carl Broberg wins a lot of races. He's very high percentage. I don't think he's going to do it on the big stage.
I think this horse will be battling Willie Boy.
He'll beat Willie Boy. I mean, Willie Boy will beat him if you want to play horse for horse. Yeah.
All right, so let's go with picks. You want me to start, or you want to go, John?
I'll go. I like 9 over 2, 4, 10. Am I supposed to spend my $100?
No, you could go ahead and do your normal thing, and then give your money picks.
Okay, 9 over 2, 4, 10. My money.
The heck was that?
My money play is $40 exacta 9 with 2, 4. $20 exacta 9, 10.
$20 exacta. You said 9, 10?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's $40 exacta 9 with 2, 4, and $20 exacta 9, 10. Chad?
I mean, for me, it's a one-horse race. It's Jackie's Warrior. He deserves to go out the way a champion should go out. This is the John Elway moment in the Super Bowl, the Jerome Bettis walking out in Detroit. This is Jackie Warrior's race to lose. To try and make some money, we'll play a $40 exacta 9 with 6, and then we'll come back and play a $20 straight trifecta 9, 6, 4, and a $20 straight exacta 9, 2, 7.
Right.
Try it.
Oh, try. Okay, 927. All right, so I got $40 exacta 96, $20 try 964, $20 try 927. That's right.
Well done, Chad.
And then I'm going to go $25 to win on the 2, $25 to win on the 6, $25 exacta box 9-4, and $25 exacta box 9-5.
Okay, hand in your bets. No more bets for you, Greg. That's the most ridiculous bet I've ever heard in my life.
So we also tell him that he bet $120.
Well, you both put 9-4, 9-5, just like I did.
I don't have a 5. I don't know.
No. Well, I have 9-4. What's wrong with 9-4? So?
9-4. Okay. Well done.
Thank you. All right. I learned from the best. What can I say?
Over $100.
Let's now move on to... Well, actually, we're going to say goodbye to the free viewers. So we'll see you guys next month. Don't forget December. That's when every one of our shows and all of our picks will be free to all viewers. But for now, it's on to our patrons.